What time will you be home?
Marketing meeting at 2:30. I won't be home till after 6.
Daddy will take you to your violin lesson then, Felix.
Marcus, if he says he's not well...
Ruby, you know how much work I've got to do today.
But he might be ill.
He's not ill. He just wants a day off, that's all. Look, he's fine. Now, come on, or you'll be late.
Bye, darling.
Bye. Right, school.
You've what?
It's very simple. I've decided that when we have a child, I want to bring it up in the Catholic faith.
Where's this come from? You've just decided?
Well, I'm sorry, but I didn't think you were interested in organised religion.
Well, you know I'm not, but we can discuss it, can't we?
Well, let's discuss it then. It's not as if I'm proposing to send it off to a boot camp or something. It's just a school, like any other ordinary school.
Not like any other school, obviously.
Don't be flippant.
Morning!
Morning, Joe.
A bit out of the blue, isn't it? You've never mentioned it before.
Oh, well, I just want our child growing up believing in God. What's so outrageous about that?
I want us to think about it. Is it the right thing to do?
Of course it is. Or are you saying we shouldn't let our child believe in Father Christmas either?
Now who's being flippant?
Anyone fancy a cuppa?
No!
Now, where's your book bag? And there's your games kit. Here's your lunchbox. Now, I want you to eat everything this time, OK? Not just the crisps. And don't forget to give Miss Poyser the 50p for football club. Good. OK, well, off you go. Go on.
Kate, I don't want to argue about this.
Oh, so it's all my fault, is it?
All right. I've been insensitive and I didn't really listen to what you wanted to say, and I'm sorry, but I do have a point of view too. I just think the child should be allowed to decide for itself.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think.
Yeah.
After it's been brought up as a Catholic. Then it's in the best position to decide for itself.
This whole thing is so stupid. We've been trying for ages to have a baby and getting nowhere. Now we're arguing about whether he's going to be a Catholic or not.
Why is that stupid?
Because it's a hypothetical situation.
Oh, I hear what you're saying. You're saying we're never going to have this baby.
Kate?
Because you never wanted it in the first place. Well, how convenient.
Kate, that's not what I meant.
Isn't it?
No.
Well, if it was good enough for me, it'd be good enough for our child.
But that's just it. It's not good enough for you.
Well, that's just something I'll have to live with. But I won't have my child's soul and my conscience.
God, can you hear yourself? You crossed the road to avoid Father Tom. You haven't been to church in years, and now you want to foist on your child, our child, a religion that you've rejected. Why? Look, all right. Look, maybe you're not being illogical, but can't you see that it's a bit unusual?
It's not a bit unusual. Oh, I know you think I was reared in the middle of nowhere like Ballygodspeed. But the people I grew up with were good people. And for all their faults, they knew the value of a spiritual education.
OK.
Hello? Yes, it is. But I've only just dropped him off. Oh. I see. Yeah, of course. Right away. Thanks for calling. Yeah, bye.
Hi, Helen.
Hi.
Have you decided when you're going to call him?
Whom?
Father Tom.
Why?
Well, you want to tell him about our plans. Popular places, Catholic schools. You have to get in there quick. And he'll be delighted to hear about your change of heart.
Of course. I'll call him later on this morning.
Well, why are you calling him now?
Because I've got things to do this minute. I'll call him later.
I suppose you think that was a terrible thing to do.
Me? No. But then I don't have to live with Kate, do I?
Biting?
That's what his head teacher said. He bit his classroom assistant.
Was it serious?
They had to take her into casualty. She had 7 stitches in her arm.
Has Felix ever, has anything like this happened before?
It's happened a few times before.
Really? So, what have you got to say for yourself then, Felix?
Sorry.
Do you want to tell me why you bit your teacher? Don't you like her? Does she taste nice?
I don't think it's a laughing matter.
Forgotten his number? I've got it here somewhere. No, is it under F for father or T for Tom?
S for smarmy.
Sorry?
No, you're not. You're revelling in it. Thanks a bunch.
You've dug a hole for yourself, Kate. Get out now before you need a ladder. Put the phone down, Kate.
It's ringing.
All right, you've made your point.
Dug a hole for myself, have I?
Come on, Kate.
Oh, hello. Is that Father Tom? Yeah, it's Kate McGuire here. Yeah. Sorry, it's been quite some time. Yeah. Father, I was wondering if I could come over and have a chat with you. Yeah.
He's never like this at home. We just don't know what's got into him.
Don't you like school, Felix?
He loves school.
But there might be something there that's spoiling it for him, that makes him want to stay at home.
You mean like bullying? I doubt it. He was complaining of a poorly tummy this morning, but it didn't seem serious. His mum had a look at him. She thought he was fine.
Right then, OK. Let's have a look at you then, Felix. Come on, up on the couch. There you go. Good man.
He's been doing so well at school. He's the brightest in the class.
Does it hurt?
And maybe he's got in with the wrong kind of kids. The school does have quite a wide catchment area.
Does it hurt here?
But this isn't the sort of behaviour you'd expect from a Catholic school. They pride themselves on their good disciplinary records.
Does it hurt anywhere?
That's one of the reasons why we fought so hard to get Felix into St. Winifred's.
St. Winifred's Church, please, yeah.
The thing is, they've got to be selective, haven't they, to maintain the standards. But that's why this is so baffling. When they told us that Felix was becoming a bit disruptive, we put it down to him being frustrated, that they weren't stretching him enough intellectually. And the head's had enough. Any more biting and Felix will be out of the school.
Well, I can't find anything obviously wrong with him. He seems fit and healthy.
He should be. All the after-school clubs he goes to. Football, judo.
I think I'd like to refer him to a child psychologist.
A psychologist?
Yeah. I want to talk to Felix, carry out some tests.
What kind of tests?
Well, there's no need to be worried. He'll want to assess Felix's behaviour. It all helps inform the diagnosis.
But will the psychologist be looking for signs of mental illness?
Why? Is there a history of mental illness in the family?
No. I wondered, that's all.
Look, there's really no need to be worried. It's just best to be on the safe side. I'll try and organise an appointment for Felix in the next few days. Can't have him off school for too long, can we?
Right, I see. OK, well, thanks.
Not at all.
Say thank you to Dr. Rawlins, Felix.
See you later, Felix.
Oh, isn't he cute?
Don't you believe it? That is one kid whose bark certainly isn't worse than his bite.
What?
Hello, I'm looking for Dr. McGuire.
Oh, have you got an appointment?
No, sorry.
Oh, he's very busy.
That's a pity, see, I really do need to see him urgently.
Oh, right. Is it serious?
I'm afraid it is.
Well, would you like to tell me what the problem is?
Well, you might say the problem is he's my father.
What brings you to Thinker's Corner?
I don't know, really. I've just been talking to this dad and his kid, and it's odd, really. I mean, I just felt I couldn't relate to them, that's all. You know what I mean?
Go on.
Little lad's been biting his teacher.
He's been what?
And no one seems to know why. And not surprisingly, his school has said he's bitten off more than he can chew. Any more, he's out.
Which school?
St. Winifred's, Catholic primary school, I think.
Well, that's Father Tom's patch. Bit unusual.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, I could have a word with Tom if it'd do any good. I mean, informally, respecting patient confidentiality, of course.
Yeah, well, he might know a bit about the background. Can't do any harm.
Yeah. OK. Kate?
Hello, Father. He did what? Again? Right. Psychological tests? Oh, Marcus. Look, I've got a few things to sort out here, and then I'm coming home. Because we need to talk. Tamsin!
And the silly old bat still couldn't find her teeth. Still, that's nuns for you. But no, Kate, you're making absolutely the right decision. I mean, I know I'm biased, but 4 million Catholics can't be wrong, you know. And St. Winifred's is an excellent school. They've got brilliant Ofsted reports, terrific school league tables, and the best news is, not a holy nun in sight.
That's a relief.
So I'll have a word with Mrs. Gordon tomorrow then?
Oh, no, there's no need to just yet.
Well, listen, don't get excited. I mean, you're not the first person who's ever sat here and told me they're not sure how they feel about God, you know. And you won't be the last. But if you're seriously thinking about regaining your faith, you've got to look into your own heart. I mean, it's not like getting back on a bike. I mean, I personally think it's actually harder to rediscover your faith than it is to find it in the first place. But then there is greater rejoicing in heaven for the lost sheep that was found than for the 99 that never strayed at all. Kate, it's good to have you back. Must have been difficult for you, eh?
Well...
One day, you've got to tell me what made you see the light. You know, I'm so pleased for you both. That Mac's a sly old dog, keeping this all to himself. I suppose he wanted you to tell me the good news?
Well, actually, I'm not pregnant.
No? Well, still, it's good to see you thinking ahead.
That's just it. We've been thinking ahead for some time now, and nothing's happening.
Go on.
When you really want a baby, you think of nothing else. And you see babies everywhere. Buggies in the supermarket, and magazines, on the television. And it's not a problem, because you keep trying. Then the doubts set in. Is it me? Is it him? Am I doing it right? I mean, there must be a reason. And then every month you're disappointed and you feel like such a failure.
And the fear of failure makes it worse.
It does. All we seem to be doing now is arguing.
I'm sorry. But you're such a strong couple. I mean, you can support yourselves through this, I'm sure.
Don't think so. See, I don't really believe that Mac wants another baby.
All right, then. Hope you're feeling better soon. Can I help you? I want to see Dr. Rawlings.
Have you got an appointment?
Don't muck me about, dear. I need to see Dr. Rawlings now.
I'm not your dear, and Dr. Rawlings is busy.
What's the problem?
This woman wants to just...
Oh, very busy. Are you the doctor who says my child needs to see a psychiatrist?
Hello, Felix. Marcus. Perhaps we should go to my room. Could you entertain Felix for us for a bit?
Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Griffin?
Do you want to play with the toys? Oh, good grief. Oh, there you are. Your son Patrick was here.
What's he doing in Lethbridge?
He didn't tell me. It was all very mysterious. I've never known he was your son. He's ever so handsome.
Thank you.
Oh, no, I didn't mean...
Too late, Joe. Too late. Well, did he say what he wanted?
No, he was in a bit of a rush, but he's booked a table at Mario's for 1 o'clock. He says he's got something important to tell you in case.
Mario's? Well, it's gone 1. Kate not back yet.
No, she said she'd be back before lunch.
And here she is.
What, am I late?
No. Just in time for lunch. At Mario's.
Oh, look, I've got work to do. What's this about?
I'll tell you in the car.
Bye.
Yeah, well.
Kate. You got the message then?
Why didn't you tell us you were coming?
I wanted to surprise you.
You certainly did that.
Sorry.
Joe says you got something very important to tell us.
That's right.
Well?
Shall we order wine then? And Dad, this is all on me. I insist.
I accept.
I hope you don't mind me turning up like this, only it's not every day you're told your son has mental problems.
I didn't exactly say that. I merely suggested that we refer Felix to a child psychologist.
It's all one and the same, isn't it, though? As soon as you've got him on your list, you'll never let him alone. He'll be marked for life.
The psychologist may well find there's nothing mentally wrong with Felix. I'm simply trying to ensure that we're doing everything we can for him.
I told you you were overreacting.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Is there any special reason why the suggestion of mental illness should upset you so much, Mrs. Griffin?
Come on, Ruby. We're trying to help Felix.
Well, if you must know, my father was a schizophrenic.
I'm going to be a grandfather.
Can you believe it?
I need a bit of time to take it in.
Well, the baby's not due till February. Bit of a shock, really. We weren't even trying.
Grandad.
What do you think, Kate?
I think congratulations.
Congratulations.
Cheers, Dad. Thank you.
It's not something you talk about, schizophrenia. Especially when you've lived with it and you've seen what it can do. It destroyed my mother's marriage. It almost destroyed the family.
And you're worried that Felix might have inherited it?
He is, I'm not.
Just because your father had schizophrenia doesn't mean he'll get it. It could be that there's something else wrong.
Like what?
Well, I don't know. That's for the child psychologist to find out.
You see, I knew it was a mistake to tell him.
Ruby.
Anyway, it's pretty obvious to me where Felix's problems come from. It's all down to his father.
Amazing, isn't it? 1 minute you're dangling on your knee, and the next minute they're telling you you're going to be a granddad.
Yeah.
And the way he clears his throat. He's just like me. And did you see the way he was when he was sorting out the bill? I mean, I used to catch myself doing things my dad did, but this was really strange.
Sounds like grandfatherhood is suiting you.
Well, I'm not ready for the cardi and the slippers yet. You all right?
Hi, Kate. You going to shut that door or what? There's brass monkeys out there, you know.
Sorry. What brings you here, Tom?
Well, I brought you some bump about the school. I thought you might like to read it, you know.
Oh, great, thanks.
Can you and me have a bit of chat about it, and maybe in your room?
Yeah, of course. Go on.
Hey, I'm not the bad guy here. I'm the one who encourages Felix.
That's just it. You're pushing him too hard.
He'll only get one chance at this. Do you want him to fail?
I want him to be happy. Can't you see? You're forcing him to become the infant genius you always thought you should have been. You're behaving just like your father.
I honestly don't think...
You won't admit it, but you know I'm right. It's not your fault you weren't brilliant at school. But that's no reason to stuff the Encyclopedia Britannica down his throat. If you gave him a hug instead of the new Harry Potter, it would mean so much more to him. You're thinking more about yourself and what people will think of your clever little boy than about your son's happiness.
I do everything for that boy.
We know. Football club, judo, chess. The lad's been in more clubs than George Best.
It's not easy being a father.
What do I know? I'm only his mother.
If I am at fault, it's only because I want what's best for Felix.
Not for Felix. For yourself.
Actually, I'm glad you popped in, Tom. I want to have a word with you about one of the boys from St. Winifred's.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Dr. Rawlins saw him this morning, and he's a bit worried.
Oh, we're not betraying confidences here, are we?
No name, no pack drills, but I don't suppose there's more than one kid who bites the teachers, is there?
Well, no. Having said that, I think I know the little fella you're referring to, yeah.
Do you know much about his background?
A nice little lad. Quite bright, too. Parents are OK. Bit pushy, maybe.
Pushy?
Well, yeah, I mean, they were too keen to get him into St. Winifred's, you know.
Well, it's a popular school.
Yeah, but that's not the point. You see, for a start, only one of the parents is a Catholic. And he's a convert. And if you get me drift, a very recent convert.
So you're saying?
I'm saying nothing, pal. I mean, people convert to the faith for lots of different reasons, and all of them private, but I just wasn't happy with the boy coming to St. Winifred's.
Why?
Well, it didn't seem fair. I mean, there's so many kids out there with two Catholic parents.
So, if Kate wants to send our child to St Winifred's, you would say no, because I'm not a Catholic.
Well, you don't beat about the bush, but basically, yes.
It means a lot to her, you know.
I know, but it's difficult. I mean, as a friend, I'd like to say yes, no problem, but...
But what?
Well, like I say, it's difficult.
I think it's probably the last straw for Mac.
I think you might be reading too much into it.
I don't. I never really knew whether Mac wanted a baby or not. I mean, he said he did, but I always thought he might change his mind. Now he's going to be a granddad. He's got the perfect excuse, hasn't he?
I was speaking to Kate, and she said you're having problems.
Putting it mildly. Kate is desperate to have a child. I've been trying, but...
You don't feel too paternal, eh?
Tom, I'm going to be a grandfather. Look, perhaps maybe I should just face up to the truth. I mean, we live on an overpopulated planet. Maybe I should stop fiddling around trying to make babies.
That's not the sort of argument you should run past the Catholic priest, you know.
Something that you said about hugs. This morning when I dropped Felix off at school, I said goodbye to him, and he turned and ran back to me. You know, I thought he just didn't want to go into school, so I sent him back. Now I know what he wanted. He just wanted a hug, and I couldn't give him one.
Marcus.
You're right about my father. I never loved him. He wouldn't let me. I never felt able to get close to him. I always felt there was this terrible sadness and loneliness in him. And I wanted to talk to him, but there was never a good time. And then one day he died, and it was too late.
Did he push you?
School. Yes. I suppose it was his way of showing he was proud of us. I was never the brightest bulb in the box. And every time I came home from school with a good report, I'd get a present. You know, a dinky toy or something. That was as much as I ever got from him.
It sounds like you feared him.
I feared being a failure in his eyes.
Could Ruby have a point? That you've pushed your son too hard in the same way he did with you?
Yes.
If that's true, then Felix's biting could be a reaction to his frustration. It may be that he's simply showing his unhappiness in the most immediate and out-of-control way in order to make himself understood.
You mean like a cry for help?
Hello?
I need to be straight with her. Listen, I know exactly how I feel, but I don't want to hurt her feelings.
Yeah, but I've got to tell you that Kate is seriously thinking about rejoining the church, you know. And if you were to dash her hopes about having a baby, you could really hurt her terribly. Probably more than you'll ever know.
I didn't realise. Felix. Felix. I think we'd better be off.
Take it easy, yeah? Enjoy your time with Felix. The sweet man will grow up before you know it.
Just, well, just be a dad. I'll try. Won't I, Felix?
Do you fancy a drink later? Something I need to tell you.
Mike, I can't wait. Whatever you have to tell me now.
Okay. Coffee?
No. So, what's the big news?
I've been feeling a bit confused about things.
About the baby issue.
About babies, yes. And I Well, two things, really. First, Patrick dropping that bombshell, and then this business of the man-eating boy.
Mac, you really don't have to go on any further.
Yes, I do, actually. It's not every day that your son tells you you're going to be a grandfather, and it made me think. I wasn't actually that good a dad.
You're a great dad, and you know it.
No. I did try. But I failed to keep the marriage going, and I deprived those kids of a father. Oh, they coped. How many times have I heard a divorced parent say that? But they did cope. And they're great kids, you know that. But I let them down. And then this little boy this morning, well, you saw him hugging his dad. It's obvious it's never too late to try and put things right. Look, I made mistakes. But I'm living with you now and I love you. I mean, I really love you. And that makes a difference. Look, I know that I can bring up a child with two loving parents. Well, even if I am getting on a bit. Look, I don't kid myself it's going to be easy. But if I can have one last chance of being a dad, I might get it right.
Do you really, really mean that?
Look, I still want to try for the baby, Kate. I do.